Hello everybody, welcome back. I hope we are well. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, you'll know that I'm quite an open book. I'm very honest about my feelings, about my mental health, about life. I mean, I've been sharing my life on the internet since I was 21. I'm now 33. It's over 10 years. So I'm kind of like numb to the idea of TMI or sharing my dirty laundry. The idea doesn't really exist in my universe. I just share shit. Maybe it's naivety, I don't know. But I think there's beauty in honesty because it allows us to connect. It allows people to relate. And it also makes a lot of people not feel so isolated or feeling alone, you know, when they're going through shit. It's nice to feel like you can relate to someone and connect, you know. Anyway, in my last upload, which was a vlog, I expressed how I've been feeling recently, which has been a bit low mood, negative, all that. And I was quite actually blown away by the really supportive comments, but also just at how many other people were kind of feeling the same way in a roundabout way. Like, not everybody is me and goes through what I go through. Likewise, we all have things in our lives that make us feel like shit, but in respects of like, oh yeah, totally feeling like this also, which got me thinking about feeling like shit. Why are we feeling like shit? I'm going to list off a few reasons why I think you feel like shit. It'd be great for you to have an input in the comments because the community that has developed on this channel is great. It would be awesome to have some healthy conversation about the topic. Now, you know me, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert in the field, in psychology, in counselling, all of that shit. I just share my experiences and my thoughts and my opinions on things. So roll with it however you feel applicable. First of all, this tummy, it doesn't help. It's gloomy outside. It's raining right now. It's very dark outside right now. Hence why I've got a little bit of extra help for this lovely light over here. I think January, February time is just an odd time of year. You know, like we're all a bit tired. You know, we've just had Christmas. So all that excitement's over. Then you've got the new year, new me bullshit. We feel like we should be taking the year by the reins and like smashing the shit out of it, but none of us can really be bothered because it's cold, it's wet, we're tired, it's dark, and we haven't got the energy for that because technically we kind of should be hibernating right now. It's quite a difficult time of year anyway, January, February time, because it's just a bit shit in a nutshell. Now this one, I feel partly to blame for. I am part of the problem. I am the problem. Social media. It's true. Why is social media such a negative thing? So I've been thinking about this, right? Obviously, social media is my job. I require people to watch me and support me and engage in order for me to continue doing it. And it's great. However, as much as I love social media, that it has given me some incredible opportunities, it pays for my life. Very grateful for that. On the other hand, I fucking hate it. It's wrecking us, doing so much damage to so many areas of our life. Let's break it down. I think the consumption of so much information all the time is one of the first problems. Like, we all miss our childhood, right? The simplicity of it. One thing that I was talking about the other day was I missed anticipation and excitement. So when you were getting a new CD, a new movie was coming out, TV series, you had to wait for all of that shit. You know, everything was just in magazines, TV ads, or in shops, right? And you had to make an effort to go get the things that you liked. So you're kind of almost working for it. You're waiting for it. It's exciting. I think that social media and the accessibility it gives us has taken away that magic, that spark through things that we would normally enjoy. Just that kind of like, I want it now culture, that next day delivery, all of that. It's making our patience way smaller. You know, our attention spans are getting smaller. We get distracted by things easier nowadays. Procrastination is through the roof, which obviously then makes us frustrated. But yeah, the consumption of so much information, like, when has it ever been, like, why is it that we know what everybody around us is doing all of the time? We are so exposed to what's going on around the world all the time. Yes, it's good in some respects to give awareness to a lot of shit. However, we're just being bombarded with news, negativity, shocking stories, obviously all the good shit as well, which is lovely. Dogs, Harry Potter memes, but it's a lot to take in. And you know, when you scroll on your phone, there's just so much going on all at once. Within 5 minutes, you've probably seen hundreds of things at once, right? It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming, and I think it's too much for our brains to be able to deal with. Like, you think of our original purpose on this earth: eat, sleep, fuck. But now there is so much going on that we've created. I don't think we're supposed to. Then obviously also there's the comparison game. So we're accessing all of this information about the world and other people. We follow people and we see their lives. I think it's overwhelming, but also can make us feel like shit when we see people living a life or doing things that we think we should be doing or that we want. People put a highlight reel of their life on social media, which is kind of, you know, an inaccurate portrayal of what real life is. And you end up having like a warped sense of what's reality, because you're constantly seeing all of this stuff that people are having and doing. People obviously don't want to share their bad laundry or their like bad news. Some people do. Some people like to keep it real. I can understand why people don't want to, because people don't want to be seen to be failing. And also people don't want to come across as like attention seeking or unprofessional. I, for one, I've always fallen into the comparison trap. Even when I don't even think I'm doing it, I'm subconsciously comparing myself to other people in terms of styling, in terms of work, in terms of who's going on what brand trips. I'm you know, I don't do that as much because it's contextual, or like, you know, how much people can achieve in a day, all of that. I'm like, fuck. And then you've got fucking Facebook, like the cesspit of social media. That is just awful. People that have got the confidence of someone that's never been punched in the face before, writing comments on videos, thinking that they know best. Literally, you could post the most innocent video ever on Facebook and someone will be hating on it. I see people commenting on the way that children are being brought up, dogs being mistreated. You know, there's always someone that knows better. There's always someone that's got a suggestion which they think is the right way. Honestly, I watch a video on Facebook and I'm like, I know what I'm going to see in the comments. Do I even bother looking? Fuck it. Curiosity's got the better of me. I'm going to be like, oh no, I was right. Older people should not be allowed to use social media because it's mostly people's mums getting irate because they're bored. Oh, and then finally, it's the fucking do-gooders of the world, the people that are going to shame you because you're not living sustainably, or you're eating meat, or you're not doing enough to change the world. And I'm not saying that any of those things are wrong. We've got people that are fighting the good fight and doing some amazing things for the planet, but then there are just the people that just love to tell you how wrong you are living your life. Like, you're not doing this enough, you're not recycling enough, you're not eating organic enough, you're shopping in the wrong places, you're supporting this cause, you're not supporting that cause. Like, it's just, the list seems to be never ending, and you never feel like you can kind of live your life perfectly, because there's always someone that's going to have a fucking problem with what you're doing, and it's exhausting. All in all, social media has got quite a negative impact on our day-to-day lives, but we're so accustomed to it now that it's being normalized. But what we don't really realize, that it's chipping away at our subconscious and our confidence and our sort of like just general overall happiness. When I put my phone away in a drawer for 2 weeks, when it was the Christmas holidays, honestly, the best. Not a worry in the world. How do we get around this? I would just be more mindful with your consumption of social media. And by that, I mean unfollow accounts. This is like so cliche, but unfollow accounts that make you feel like shit. Even if there is a shred of I feel like shitness watching your content or their content or whoever I'm following, fucking unfollow it. Unfollow me if I make you feel like shit. I'm just going to put it out there because I don't intend to. I'm just living my life. And a lot of people are just living their lives, right? But it's not good. I might even go do a cull actually after this. If you find yourself comparing yourself to other people, we have to remember why we're comparing ourselves to people, and also remember our authentic reality. Like, okay, this is an example. So let's say I got super jealous and a bit feel shitty because I saw a bunch of influencers going to like an Urban Decay event on stories. Oh, they're all in London at an Urban Decay event. Why was I not invited? But then I look and I see that I've not done any makeup content for a very long time. That's why, because I'm not doing makeup shit. Not because I don't like you, but you're not really making the content. You're not the kind of creator that they're looking for. That's why I've not been invited. How come that person's been on their 5th holiday this year? Maybe they've just had a really great year in terms of their job. Maybe their partner's paying for it. Maybe they won the holiday. It's so easy to fall in that like negative spiral mindset when you look at others and what they're doing, but you got to think about what's probably going on, and B, like, stop thinking so negatively about other people, because that's gonna, like, that's just, it's infectious, it's addictive to have a negative mindset, and then you just fall into this pattern of thinking so illy of people that you then become not a nice person inside, and you almost feel like you're rotting inside because you have such a negative perception of others. I always give people the benefit of the doubt these days. I like to see the good in people, and you know what, if someone is off on their fucking sick holiday in the Maldives, you know what, good for them that they're in the fucking Maldives. I'm in Norwich and it's raining. I wish I was in the Maldives, but I'm not going to feel like shit about that. I'm not, because it's kind of got nothing to do with me. Go ahead, go to the Maldives. Also, we need to remember, again, when it comes to like seeing people like thrive and be productive, one thing that we need to remember, right, is everybody has different abilities. Imagine that you've got a line of people and they're doing a 100-meter sprint. They're not all going to finish at the same time. Some people are just faster than others. Some people might win at a beer drinking competition. Not all of us are good at doing lots and lots of things in a day. Sometimes our strengths lie in other places. If you see someone being super productive and smashing the gym and everything like that they need to do, like taking the kids to school and then like, and then doing the food shop and then doing a full day at work and then taking the dogs to the vet and then redecorating their living room and then, I don't know, doing a fucking abseil, like, cool, good for them. But it doesn't mean that you're a piece of shit just because you've not managed to either do the same or complete your to-do list. This leads on to my next point. Your expectations of yourself are too damn high. It's quite common to set your bar high and then just keep raising it. I do that. I'm guilty of that. Keep raising that fucking bar and you're never going to reach it. Do that. Why? Because we see other people doing this and we think that we need to do this as well. But really, I can't do that because I can try, I can set goals, but I'm not that person. Good for them. And we ask so much of ourselves. Unrealistic expectations, non-sustainable expectations for ourselves. We're always setting ourselves up for failure when we don't achieve the things that we set out to do because it's just too much. And also not recognizing what we have achieved, which then leads me on to my next point, which is toxic positivity. This might be controversial. You might disagree. When I'm in a bad mood and I'm talking, when I'm down here, the last thing I want you to say to me is, think about all the things that you've got. Think about all the things that you've achieved. Look at this lovely house. Look at that lovely car. You've got 2 lovely dogs, lovely friends. You should be happy. Well, guess what? I'm not fucking happy. And now you've made me feel worse because I'm not grateful. I feel like shit. And now I feel guilty that I'm not happy because I've got all these lovely things. Most people would be happy that they've got all these lovely things. But guess what? I'm not. I'm fucking miserable. Tell me that stuff when I'm starting to get out of that slump, because that will be the rocket up my ass to help me cheer up. But if I'm down here, the reminder of all the good things in my life is only going to make me feel worse because it's accentuating that I don't feel happy about those things. People giving you the wrong fucking advice and support is not what you need. Know that their intentions are good, but that's why I feel like shit, because they're saying the wrong things. Just ask them to just leave me alone for a little bit. I just need to mull over these feelings. I need to feel these feelings. I need to just sit in my sadness a little bit. And then when I'm ready, I will emerge from the wallow space, from the darkness, from the gloom, and then we can talk. You've got shit people around you. People that are negative, people that exude bad energy, people that suck up energy, people that cannot be happy for other people, who thrive off gossip, who thrive off negativity, and will offload their thoughts and feelings about stuff which, if you're an empath like me and feel deeply, you suck up that shit like a sponge and it makes you then feel like rubbish. Yes, it's good to talk about things, and yes, it's good to open up to friends about stuff, but I always think it's good to ask first, like, are you okay with having a conversation? Because I'm not feeling too good. But yeah, people's energy can really affect your mood, whether you notice it or not at first, but subconsciously, like, people can fuck up your day with their bad energy. Okay, this one is going to sound harsh, but it's so true. Stop thinking that people give that much of a shit about you. And in the respect of, right, I have this thing about people thinking I'm unproductive, people thinking that I don't have a job, people thinking that I'm lazy, and people thinking that I'm a failure. No one thinks that. That's all in my own head. No one cares that much about what I'm doing because people are so concerned about themselves. But when you're in a bad place and when you're spiraling and when you're in a low point, you start to say things to yourself in a way that you, A, may think about yourself, but B, you think people think of you. No one cares that much. All right, I am ramping it up now. This is going to get a bit more tough lovey, but it comes from a good place. All right, you're lying to yourself and you know it. You're not doing things that you know are going to be good for you, that you know are going to benefit you. You're trying to trick yourself that you've made the right decision. For example, I go to boot camp every morning, or boxing every morning at 6 or 7 o'clock. And if I don't go, it's usually because there is a voice in my head that has gone, and I picture it as like a pointy-nosed devil-looking thing going, no, stay in bed. Bed is warm. You don't need to go. You can go another day. And it feels in my gut like that's wrong. It feels dirty, like naughty. I've done something naughty, like watch some porn I shouldn't have or something. Like you feel like you've done something dirty when you listen and you give in to that voice. But if you overcome that voice and you go, or you do the thing that you've put off, you feel a million times better. We often will like think that something is, like, for example, in that situation, it will be, oh, it's because I need the rest and my toe hurts. Really, just get out of bed and go. I got into the habit of working in my duvet on the sofa when I should have probably gone to the studio, because I know that A, puts me in a better mood, I'm more productive, and it's good to get out of the house. But I kept giving in to that urge to, no, I'll just stay at home. Guess what happened? I felt like shit. That voice makes you feel naughty. It makes me feel naughty, but you almost give into it and it's the easier option. But in the long run, it's going to make you feel shitter and shitter and shitter. I always think the guilt outweighs the good. The guilt outweighs the doing of the thing, or the not of doing of the thing, if that makes any sense. It's very, very hard when you're in that sort of mindset to ignore that and not give into it, but also always go with the easier option, or what you think is the easier option. Like, for example, I'm just going to use it as an example just because it's what I know. But like, you know, if I'm in a low mood, the thought of going to the gym or going to do something that's going to benefit me feels like this, like you're going over a big peak. But then once you've got over the top, you're like, oh, that was actually quite easy. I'm there now. Cool. Another thing might be that you've not hugged enough dogs today. Obviously, things like depression, like actual clinical problems, are going to take a little bit more than just listening to my shit on here. But this is a start. I think at the end of the day, I think we just have to be a bit honest with ourselves and look at the areas of our life which we know are kind of making us feel like crap and do something about it. We also need to acknowledge that sometimes shit spells happen. Hormones can play something to do with it, the weather, time of year, like actual situations that we're going through, like breakups, job loss, grief. All of these things are normal things that happen which make us have an emotional response. Things that might spike our anxiety may give us a overspill response, which are obviously all valid and, you know, not just so easy to stop, so easy to just forget about. But I do think that we can do things to aid our own mental health and well-being in the everyday that we may not notice as much, that might be subconscious or might not be as obvious. I just think we need to be nicer to ourselves. We're just put so much expectation on. There's just so much go these days, and this like living your life to the fullest, which I totally get. Like, I did that last year and really loved it and made myself main character, and I'd do it again. But it's just this upkeep, man, of that. It's not sustainable. We need to find the happy medium and just roll with it. Roll with the punches, roll with the meanders of life, and just, you know, acceptance and all that jazz. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. I will see y'all soon. Oh, that's my finger. Oh, look at my new ring. Look at my new ring. That's cool, isn't it? I'll see y'all soon. Take care. Goodbye.